Hello, everybody. Good evening, Ali, Twisted, and I believe Nick was in as well. And it's just Sparkles who's just told me about this. I clicked a setting on OBS, and apparently I didn't actually. I thought I clicked go live, but apparently I didn't. So, right. Just to start all over again because I've just been going for the last 11 minutes or 10 minutes without even knowing I was not even live. And I'm sorry about that. Merry Christmas for those people who won't get a chance to say Merry Christmas to. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Thank you, Ali and Twisted, for both coming to join me, and Nick as well, you're still here. Tonight we'll be doing the bear again. Now, I've already started because I thought I was live. Yeah, not so great. I'm a bit of an idiot. So I'm just going to go back to a bit of a reset point and try to not be a complete dick. Okay, we have Mr. Bear, and yes, see, it's Sparkles who thanks Sparkles for that. She came down and told me, it's like, you're not actually live, dickhead. She didn't use those words exactly, but yeah, she said you're not live, so do something. So, what do you mean? And then I notice it's there on OBS. It's like, okay. So I'm not entirely happy with Mr. Bear, but I'm going to come back and look at his fur afterwards. It's a little bit brighter than what I wanted, or should I say the dark patches aren't as dark as what I wanted. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to do armor patches, which are going to be black mostly anyway to match the army colours. So it's going to be mostly black, and these are going to be up here bits of blue. So I'm going to paint all those bits in and the silver bits that are on him, such as the big pipe that's on the back and possibly the belt around there and some of the other bits on his hand. While I also think about what I'm going to do about his nails and the big whopping claws off here, and what I'm going to do about the things when I dropped him off the desk where I've chipped part of his claw and one of his teeth fell off. Yes, I am clumsy as shit. I know this. But okay, what can you do? Models jump. Models jump. That night is suicidal. I tried to pick him up the other day and he tried jumping out of my hands. All I wanted to do was to try to get him ready to pin his base, and he was trying to. I was like, nope, right, I'll put you back in your base. I'll leave you there. Maybe I'm going to have to send him to Dan and say, look, this PVA glue this or something down. Just a little dab and hopefully it works. Thank you very much. It's what, 2 days away? So I thought I'd wear a festive jumper for this one. So yes, I'm using black at the moment, which I'm going to carry on using because I thought I was talking so while I was doing it. I don't even know what I was talking about now before I went actually live when I thought I wasn't live. That was it. I was reading all Ali's. Ali, I was reading all your lovely songs. I was actually chatting along with you. It was like, yeah, okay, I'm. Some of them may get in my head. Some of them may not. Last Christmas has so far been running around in my head, at least the little part that you put up while I was sat there backstage, not knowing it. I wasn't singing though, so you've not yet managed I'm assuming the challenge for yourself tonight is to get me to sing. Unless you are off work, in which case you may not have set yourself a challenge. You may be actually sat enjoying it for the sake of enjoyment. I've got a stray hair and it's on one of my Kalinskis as well. It was bound to happen. Oh, that works. Yeah, you stay there for a minute. I managed to get to fold out of the back, so that works. I no longer have a stray hair, it's attached to the ferrule. Oh, that was awesome. Can you post a picture of it, please, Twisted? I'd actually like to see that. Depending when it arrives, I will be doing what my plans are for the coming year. Hopefully at some point next week, and that kind of might be along the lines of some of the stuff I have planned. This is going to be the first year I'm going forward where I might actually have my year ahead planned to some degree. Now, if only I can get someone like to do editing and actually organize a schedule, then I might be halfway there. Good evening, Graham. Good evening. I've not figured out how to put certain things up on screens yet with OBS, but when I do, don't worry. Next time I'm doing stuff, the Rogues Den Hobbies logo will be up somewhere if I'm painting something from there. I'm gradually getting a bit better with prompts from Beaky and Twisted. They're kind of both kicking me up the backside to get me there and stop being lazy, learn the bloody programs. Right, okay. Do we have to? Yes. Fine. I know they shouldn't be having to do that to a 41-year-old man, but still, they do. I've also scuffed up the base, ready for when he does eventually go on it, and I've realised he's going to have to go as far back on the base as possible. He's not going to like going far forward on the base. No, sir. To be quite honest, Greg, Sparkle's now recognised your website as quickly as she recognises GW's, and I get the same response. It's like, oh no, what you're looking at. And it's usually either Space Bears or one of the Fantasy Rangers. At the moment, I've got to go back on because I believe you updated, and put some of the vehicles on there for the Space Bears. Now, personally, I'm not as keen on the hovercrafty type tracks that are available, if it's the ones that I've seen. But the tank tracks, they're fine. And depending on the sizing of it, I don't know if it's Land Raider size, or is it Rhino-y size, or is it kind of in betweeny that size. My eyes going funny. Good evening, Mary Smegmas. Smegmas. I need to watch Red Dwarf. It's been years. It's been long. It's been long enough now that I could go back and watch Red Dwarf. And although I'll remember most of the episodes, I won't remember all of it. So I could rewatch it again now. Can't say the same with Star Trek because it's periodically been on at other places over the last few years. So I'm still relatively familiar with Next Gen and DS9, which would be the ones I'd go back and watch. But yeah, I could definitely go back and rewatch Red Dwarf. My phone's going nuts. What's going on? My phone's going crazy on me, people. I'm not sure what it is. Ah, poor little bugger. Well, it's for their own good. Once he learns not to run out into the middle of a bloody road, then he'll be fine again. He just needs to learn. This is what people don't understand. You have to train dogs. I'm sure Francois, obviously, you're aware of this. You're leashing the dog up to teach it to stay away from the road. You're aware that you've got to train dogs. These bloody idiots who go, no, let them run free. No, don't let them run free. That's how they get fucking injured and killed. You don't. You're almost as bad as the people who duck the tails and clip the bloody ears. Those bloody idiots. At least you've got some sense, Francois. You're teaching your dog. That's good. And good evening, Lee. Good evening. I'm having issues with OBS tonight, so I'm sorry I'm not offering out any links or anything at the moment. OBS is just being funny as it is with the late start, and yeah, I'm going to have a look into why that happened. I don't know why I'm going around that line. I'm going to have to paint in that line as well. No Warhammers and shit. What the what? Graham, that's not funny. That's really not funny. I have no assault terminators. How am I supposed to get proxy assault terminators if you don't sell me proxy assault terminators? Don't make me learn how to edit the thingy files, please. Please, I don't want to have to chop off those hammers and put them on the other ends, and then send you the files back and go, there you go, I've done it. Please don't do that. I don't want to have to relearn all that. And then file formats that I'm going to have to. They got claws. They got claws. Do I want that? I want hammers. Hamzas and shields. Smashy. I got an STL file for jumpy infantry with claws. Which if I'm going to do an infantry thing, I want to, jump infantry, get in there. If I want something smashy, then it's generally going against something that's going to kick out of it first. So it needs to be able to stand there and take a bit of a beating, hence the Terminators. Aggressors can't do it. I don't care what you say. Aggressors could do it with 2 powerful. No. For one, they don't come in a many unit, and no. That invulnerable save is just too much of a difference. Awesome. If they do that rule, in which case I need to figure out how much 10 of them is going to cost me. I'm going to have no money. I'm going to be poor and homeless and on the street with a big pile of models thanks to you, Graham. Cheers. No, so I could just maybe sell on me official models. fingers crossed. I'm not sure. Actually, they may arrive perfectly in time. It may not arrive perfectly in time. But I'm hoping to have a bit of a new paint range or at least partial new paints to add to my range from a range that I've not got before. So that will be awesome. If they do come through, that's like, oh, you. But I can't remember exactly which range, so I'm not going to say which range it is. I'm getting confused with chat a minute. Francois, first of all, are you messing with me again? Because I can't remember if we discussed this last time and that's what came out of it. And somebody help me out. Is Francois messing with my head again? And yeah, see, heavy intercessors are looking finally tempting. Shame I've only got 5, which does not help. I'm not sure what Francois. A lot of inquisitive Dougal farts a lot, runs the block, and thinks it's time to teach a henchman how to do the same, but he's too small still. What? Oh, my old dog is trained. Oh right, yeah. See, if we go back comments, it helps. Trained. So the dogs aren't right. No, right, okay. Never mind, Francois. It's me being. Doesn't matter. If I go back and read comments, I was wondering who Dougal Fat Lad Inquisitor Dougal Fats a lot runs up. It confused me. I was wondering what on earth are you talking about. And then if I actually look up a couple of comments, it actually tells me that you've got an older dog that you're trying to, and then it explains the situation. Never mind, I resolved it. But thank you. So, I confuse myself just with looking at my own comment section. I'm just trying to read it and make use and understand it because it goes in with. Yeah, it goes weird. It goes in a weird order for some strength. I don't understand. I really don't. Yes, aggressors are extremely. I've got aggressors. Don't get me wrong. I've got aggressors, but neither. They help when you want to get a Gravis captain somewhere, or if you've got a lot of Bolt Storm gauntlets, then stick a apothecary bio. Yeah, one of them ones. That's just basically the Gravis apothecary man that came with Leviathan. Him. Sticking them with them if you've got Bolt Storm gauntlets is really fun. He's lethal hits, isn't it? Lethal hits on Bolt Storm gauntlets and frag grain blast things. It's fun. Which is why I'm kind of gutted the librarian gives Terminator sustained hits and not lethal hits. That would have been a lot better. The other paints, maybe. I'm not as keen on the ivory as others that I've used in the past. It may grow on me. I may have just got a bad pot of ivory. Here's me describing it like a beer. But you can get bad pots of paint. I know it sounds daft, but you're still dealing with chemicals at the end of the day. And if the mix isn't quite right and you're unlucky enough to get one that's not been caught by quality control, then yeah, unlucky you. And in this case, it may be unlucky me. I should have just done this with the airbrush first. Oh well. Here's to living as a complete idiot. Definitely should have done this with the airbrush first. Just sprayed the entire thing black, then painted the bits that I wanted to. I'm guessing that's what's happened with my ivory. There's so many people that are going, Duncan Roads are really good, Duncan Roads good paints, Duncan Roads good paints. It's just like, well, all right, I got one, which is I got the staple paint that I use for the majority of things. Almost my equivalent of a sepia wash. And to give it a try, and it wasn't up to snuff. Sorry. No, that's either the paint's not up to snuff, which would require me using it up and then getting another one to test that out properly, or get a different paint and not use it the way I use it and use it as an actual paint. That might be a good idea. And it'll probably work, but for the purposes that I use that particular paint for, it wasn't up to the job. To be quite honest, I'm not sure the Games Workshop one is either. And with what's going on with Vallejo, I may end up losing the only one that I've ever been bloody happy with, which is not going to be fucking funny. Either that, or if I'm lucky enough, I'll find an absolute crap ton of it going dirt cheap, and I'll be able to order liters of the stuff for next to nothing. In which case, awesome. Yeah, well, it can happen. As I said, it depends. It doesn't usually happen that often, really. If you're getting, although it may depend on where you are in the world. If you're at freezing temperatures going around in vans, then yeah, it will tend to not be nice. But for instance, me and Lee going to the local shop, because we wouldn't have that. It's been sat on a cold van all day, able to freeze. It's not as often. So we do, but we still do get it occasionally. It really depends how long the paint's been sat there on the shelf. If it's been sat there for a while and the store doesn't know anything about paint, I'll say because they mostly sell mangas and other things, then paint's gonna be sat there for ages and never get a shake. So they will end up separating, then hardening, and you'll never get them back into a workable condition. So I'm guessing shops must periodically shake all the paints. Is that a punishment for the Inter for the young kids? Mr. Herbs, thank you very much for joining me. How were you this wonderful Christmas Eve? Are you all prepared to ignore the world for a full day? I'm losing track of stuff. Ubi Shantiron is. I don't know what Ubshanti Bone is, Foxhole. I've not tried AK. I want to try Pro Acryl. So hopefully I get to try them. Hopefully mine still will be BC if I'm lenient tomorrow. It depends on how much of a bad influence I am on myself tomorrow. If I'm really bad, then I may not get as green a Christmas as I want. But if I behave myself, I should be okay. Oh, GW Ivory. Sorry, Foxhole. Yeah, I've got one of. It's not bad. It works better than the Duncan Road one. I prefer it because it works better for dry brushing, which is why I use the Ivory far more than anything else. It's my slap chop tone, so I use an awful lot on the Tyranids, which I still have even more to do. So it's I use a lot of Ivory. And not only is it the slap chop medium that I like middle stage that I use, or highlight stage and toning stage afterwards. Yeah, I use it on all the Space Marines on any of the skulls and any of the actual bony bits. Like I did do. I've not got one of the captains with the shield out. I've only got one of the bloody lieutenants. Is it a lieutenant? No, it's actually a blade guard, that one. But it's the same shield. I really did order the guy to be a chunky bugger, didn't I? It's going to probably take my 3 tubs of paint just to do the black. Jeez. Graham, if ever I order any custom scaled models, tell me to fuck off. Or at least double check my scaling first. Because as cool as this one is, and this is literally running off the rule of cool, I don't think many people are going to let me put it on the table apart from their close friends and obviously unofficial. We're only playing for fun games. Because it's stupidly oversized. Which is great. I don't think anyone will have any complaints if I try to run him as Gazgul Thrakov. Oh, there's a fun one. Good evening, Beaker. So the Ubshanti Bone is better than the Screaming Skull. Yeah, but they're not going to give it the good one away in the magazine. And I am loath to buy Games Workshop paints. And I know the magazine ones are not value for money. I'm aware of that. But I offset that with the discount that I'm going to get on other models later on. And I have to buy the magazine from the news agents, otherwise they don't stock it anymore. Why would you stock something that you don't sell? If you know you're going to sell at least 2 of them a week, then you get at least 2 of them a weekend. So that's my thoughts on that one. That's why I'm purchasing from there every week, even if it is a paint issue. Having words in retail is fun. You get to remember what it's like and use loopholes they don't think you know. Or allows you to not give a shit at certain moments when everyone else is following the line and just it's like, nope, I know you don't have to just do that, so I know I can just do this and I get out quicker than everyone else. Like people with baskets not going to the trolley self-serve when it's empty, but queuing at the basket self-serve. Now I can understand if they're paying cash because it's only them that take cash, but if you're paying card, you might as well just go to the bloody trolley one. You get through a damn sight a lot quicker. The weather. The weather here is, if I was to look outside, you would say it's misty, but it's not. It's raining. It's just so fine. It looks like a mist or a fog. So yeah, I wouldn't advise going outside if you're aware of what that type of rain's like. It doesn't matter how waterproof your coat is, you're getting soaked. It's like walking through a pool. So basically, straight across the north of England, it is pissing down this moment of time, from Liverpool to Yorkshire. Problem is, Yorkshire's fucking huge, so it might be not raining in other parts of Yorkshire. Doubt it, but it might not be. Chances are it is raining all over though. See, even Twisted knows what it's like. Spent 12 days here, 2 days to see the sun. 2 days. You're lucky. You could have spent another 100 days, and those 2 days were the only sun you would have saw. And it's never sun on the nice days, on the days when you can go do stuff. It's always sun on the days when you've got stuff you don't want to be doing. Like you've got a hospital appointment or a doctor's appointment, or let's see, raining Southport too. So right up the coast, England is being flooded. People, England is being flooded. Right. Yeah, I thought it might. That makes that orange stand out a lot. I need to make those, some of these darker black points much darker, which can be done. Don't worry, we're not locked out of everything just yet. We're still able to do this. Now, which other parts do I want to be done black? Okay, my brush is sitting at a very weird angle at the moment. That's strange. But okay. Maybe he's trying to change himself into a multi-use brush so I don't throw it away. See how versatile can get around corners. At the moment he's still behaving, so I shall keep it. Right. If anyone's wondering what that dinking is, it's my phone trying to be quiet when it's telling me it's got something coming through. So we can all agree that it's failing miserably. Seeing as how close it is to the mic, if I can hear it, then it's definitely getting picked up. I should have chose a smaller brush. Oh well, never mind now. It's going to be the equivalent of him wearing a helmet. So Seattle's like that for 9 months of the year as well for Foxhole, right? Okay. I've heard that about Seattle, but essentially it's the equivalent of the north of England, or the north of England is very similar to Seattle. It's just rain, 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 rain. What do you get in summer? You get warm rain. But what do you get in winter? You get cold rain. And that's pretty much the difference. That's how you tell what season it is. It's nothing by like the length of daylight or anything like that. It's what temperature the rain is. It's warm in summer. Good night, Graham. Take care and good Merry Christmas to you and to the missus and the children. Hope you have a nice day. I'm sure you'll have something interesting to open in the morning. I'm going to go to this brush because that one's doing me in. I know, I'm just changing brushes on a whim because I can. That's probably enough. That's exactly what we've got out there, Foxhole. Exactly what's out there at the moment. Luckily, my little, to take a phrase, foxhole that I sit down in when I'm burning garden waste, shall we say, then yeah, that's nice and sheltered. But most of the time, if I was to go out the other door, go out that way, no, I'll be drenched, saturated, soaked, looking like a drowned rat. However many different ways you want to say, I will be very wet as you can. Because it is that fine, misty, drizzly shit. It is absolutely bloody horrible. And the amount of time that we get it is borderlining on biblical punishment. That being said, if you wanted to grow rice fields, around here would be fucking excellent if you could gut it out properly. I shouldn't be saying that. I've got a Chinese phone. Shh. Don't give them more reasons to come over here. Take our land. And they wouldn't even have to do it through arms either. They just have to bring people. Just send people. Use economics against us as warfare. Which I'm sure has been done somewhere in the world. I'm sure somebody who's thought of that. May be put into place right now. But I don't know nothing. I'm a bumpkin on a council estate. What do I know? For the North American continent viewers, it's equivalent of a trailer park. It's just we've got bricks instead of the trailers. Black, 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 black. It's not a particularly happy colour. I'm going to have to reboot things like Discord and things when I finish this stream. That's just reminded me. Because it did pop up as a notification on my phone that you have posted something twisted, but it didn't come up on the PC because I've closed it for resources. That won't be the reason why it went wrong, would it? No. I still have no idea why the initial start went wrong. No idea. Although now I'm thinking about it because I can. My brain's in a processing power. It's just on a slow processing power. It may have been because this will be the first time that I've actually planned a later stream on using OBS. How closely to photos what Henry Cavill is? Don't tell that one because that looks fuck all like Henry Cavill. I know your eyes aren't that bad to think that this big bear thing looks like Henry Cavill. So you're not getting me with that one. Oh, right. See, I'm going to have to go in and have a look. Dang it. Twisted and partway through painting on a stream. Don't give me interesting stuff to go look at. Not when I've got nothing to go look at it on anyway. I will be going to have a look after stream. Okay, so a small section under that section of fur and this section here are also going to be black. Yeah, you did. Don't worry. Ali distracts everyone. Everyone can distract in their own special way. So Feel free to distract. It's just I've got to fight the urge to not stop everything that I'm doing to go have a look immediately. Depending on how far through this I get tonight, as I don't think I'll be completing it all. In fact, I know I won't be completing it all, but if I can at least get an understanding of where colours are going to be, then I can start working on the fur a little bit more. And really, I want colours in there that are going to be easy enough to cover up mistakes with, or that are not going to be touched too much afterwards. So obviously all the black areas I can do, because black's easy enough to touch up afterwards if I need to. And it gives me the big blocked areas that I know I'm going to be leaving alone for don't touch that bit, don't touch that bit. Same with the silver, really. I'll know certain areas I won't be touching. It's just coming back in and highlighting it with grey over the black, over the actual black area, which I may attempt some kind of source lighting, possibly. Thank you, Ali. It's I think the effect that I'm looking for is there. You can see what I was looking to try to do. I just don't think it's managed it quite yet, which is how a lot of my fucking find out usually go. I never usually get it right first time. I get close and then have to go in and figure out what's the little key feature that I missed. So I think in this case, he's actually spending the time and the dedication to go in and give each strand the dedication that it deserves, and that it's going to need to, so I can get the tips actually the colours that I want them to be. I'm not going to be able to do it in a quick, lazy method in this case, not to get the full effect. Thank you for that, Francois. Making nurglings and popping out some corn. Hey, all the chaos gods are happy. Well, at least half of them. Right, how am I doing for black areas? I hate doing neat lines down the side of other colours. I really hate doing neat lines. This is where some of them pens would be really come in handy, because I could paint all the majority of it and then just come back in around the edges and just do it with pen. And in this case, I don't actually mean Sharpies, I do mean the acrylic paint pens. Or the Gundam colouring paint pens, whichever ones you are more familiar with. That's looking okay. The camera's doing it more justice than actually in the flesh. The camera's hiding a lot of the flaws and making it look a lot neater and cleaner than it actually is. Gotta love the camera for it though. Also, light doesn't help much in some instances because what you think is, or what I'm thinking is a section that needs painting again is in fact a shine from the light. So I'm going to do my best to try and get it as flat as possible, so it's easier to work with in the future. Now I'm seeing bits where I've missed with the fur and bits that I'm going to need to get for future dates. If I paint that silver, is that all going to bleed in through it? That's because I've managed to get it to go through OBSly. Everything else I've been using in the past has been 720p. Now that I'm able to go through OBS, I can get it at 1080, provided I make the square the appropriate size. Which does mean I cut off some of the edges, but that just means I lose some of my keyboard section and my mouse off the camera, which isn't a big loss. But it allows me to put this in at a much larger, a much better resolution and a much larger image. Also means that I am in high resolution down in the bottom corner. Hey, you can see my lovely smiley faces and have nightmares about it. Tell your children how you survived the look that came through as it was just staring at you solely. Just, it's okay. I know where you live, and I know you're on your own. It's all right. And then tell them, watch them cry and laugh, call them wusses. Be generally mean to them. I'm only joking. Don't be mean to your kids. Don't be a dick. Wind them up, though. Wind them up. It's funny. They'll wind you up. They will wind you up. So wind your kids up. Teach them how to make fun of things. Take light of things. How to turn the other cheek, so to speak. Well, it usually makes sense not to have keyboard and mouse on camera, because if you have to type a password, then it goes in up on there. So yeah, my keyboard's just out of reach. Well, not just out of reach, just out of shot. So it's close enough should I need to use it that I can. But yeah, you can't see my passwords. It's nice. Right, where was I up to? I was reading. Let's go back up chat a minute because I was reading bits. Francois gone to low. Twisted. Apologise for right. Yeah, no, I'm caught up. I'm actually catching up with chat. I'm staying reasonably well for a change for myself. I can't actually see the analytics or anything for the video, so I've got no idea. Unless you actually speak, I don't actually know if you're there or not. So just for a moment while I take a second, because I want to rethink about which parts need to be done what colour. I'm going to do the YouTube thing and tell you to remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification button. If you do subscribe, you will need it because I don't don't always plan ahead. But if you are enjoying any of the content, please do all the jingly bells stuff and yada yada yada. You are here, Francois. Yes, I believe. I knew you were here. It's just I believe he was doing an action that many of us would rather not bring to mind. If your description of what you was doing earlier, and how you're making your nurglings was true, then some of us are thinking, cheers for that, but okay, just wash your hands before you use the keyboard. You better go get ready then, Lee. You better go get ready. Now, I've still got a crap load of black to paint, and then I've got to start on silver, so that's going to be fun. Don't push through using a dry brush. And we want to get all in the face plates. Because he's not got a helmet. I've still got to do all this for all the other finagly bits yet. I'm only doing the body and the arms. Not even started on the backpack or shoulder guns or all the tubes. I'm going to have to glue in place. I've just remembered because I'm just looking at the place where two of them go. Right, okay. That's nice. Fair enough, Francois. Fair enough. Bella Jingles? So Nick's still here as well. Thank you very much for letting me know. I didn't mean to put pressure on people that were sat silent and just listening, by the way. It's just that I don't know you're there if you don't talk. So if I'm not talking to you, that's the reason. Don't get me wrong, if you all stop talking, it's not going to necessarily stop me from talking. It's just, it might change the context in which I'm talking. Talking to myself has never been a problem. It's trying to stop stuff that will get me locked up, either in a mental home or by the police, from coming out when I'm on my own is the problem. Especially if you accidentally think you're on your own and you're not, and you're being recorded. Then all of a sudden it becomes a court case. And I don't want to be the next Nazi pug. Thank you very much. That poor guy got done in so much that he can't do anything but YouTube now. Have a good night, Alison. Good night, Ali. I'm only just catching up on that. And we still have Foxhole games as well. Thank you, Foxhole. So I'm really going to test my camera in a minute. Because I did get... Right. I've ordered some models for next year. Because Sparkles likes her little animals for Dungeons and Dragons characters. And I have no particular complaints about running a you're an animal as opposed to a dwarf or an elf or an orc. You're an animal that has the equivalent trait of a. So that's easy enough. Run just as human variants if you really wanted to. But those cats were nice and brilliant to paint, but they were just cats. So what I would like to do is branch out into different animals. So yes, I have ordered some animals, and there should be different ones. But I did also get sent something else from the same place, which once I've done with the black, I'll actually show you and test the camera, see how good this 1080p apparently streaming on this as opposed to StreamYard or one of the multi-streaming platforms where I would have usually used. Oh, no worries, Leave. You're not going to stream. I'm assuming Ali has gone to bed now, so I've missed saying the second in the night to her just in case she was still in there. So as far as I can tell, those are the black bits for the bear. Now, if you're wondering why I've not done them bits, it's because that's where guns are going to go. Because the Brutalis Dreadnought has guns and crap loads of them. More than I thought it had. Now I intend to count his open mouth as the melter option. And I should have the codex here actually. That's 8th and 9th. That's 10th. Ah, I've actually got the codex this time. Promise. No worries, Lee. That does sound quite cute, actually. A large badger with little tiny rabbits just going down. Look, sounds cute as hell. Sounds very impractical for a D&D character model. Because you've got to try and explain why you're a badger with loads of rabbits. And I don't think many DMs will let you have that many characters as one character. So yeah, this big bugger. Right, he gets to swap his twin heavy melter with a twin multi-melter, okay? And he's replacing his Brutalis fists and bolt rifles with Brutalis talons. Yes. So he's got multi-melter and Brutalis talons, which means he loses his bolt rifles. So the two things on the side are going to be his... Oh, right, okay, no. So the two things on the sides up here can be his Icarus Iron Hill, a heavy stubber. And then those on the backs of his arms can actually be the twin multi-melter. Because he loses the bolt rifles when you get rid of the Brutalis fists for the Brutalis claws, which obviously they're claws, not fists. That's an interesting way of painting them. If you was to do that and literally they're all white rabbits except for a streak of brown down the back. That would be an interesting way of painting them. not a bad idea, that, Francois, actually. I mean, if you've really got to go down that, you could actually do some texturing down the back, and I'm taking it too far now, just little yellow dots. Nope, stop it. Stop it. If you want to have those discussions, join the Discord and go have them in there. The Discord is free, by the way. If anyone was wondering, it's not behind a paywall. I don't have a Patreon. The closest thing to a Patreon I've got is a Buy Me a Coffee, and I can't even remember how to get back into that properly. So if anyone's added to that recently, then thank you very much. But I've been unable to go in and check because oh no, I should be able to do it on the PC. I should be fine. I've just figured it out. See, that's how clever I am. Should be able to do it on the PC. I should be okay. Essentially, yeah, it's just a little dry brushing. It should be fine. Scrub. I mean, technically, they're perfect for it for a badger. You grab it by its ears and grab it by its tail and just use it as a floss, and job done. Well, tail or ears and feet, depending on the size of it. And obviously, that's why he's got a few of them. So one's got a chance to dry before he has to use it again. Does he have a special one that's just yellow? I'm saying he might be a female badger. Does she have a special one that's just yellow? See, we've already got a theme for this for you, Twisted. So you've got to take your serene little voice, your tranquil tones, and you have to get this beautifully cute little miniature, and then you have to paint it as we've just described, as though the only reason the badge as a D&D character of a badger who carries rabbits round as toilet paper, and paint it accordingly. We are sick and twisted people. Well, you're twisted nerves, but well, me and Francois are twisted nerves people. Twisted people. This stuff shouldn't be done, but it should at the same time, just because of. Oh, that is funny. I wish I could model, and I don't mean stand in front of a camera and pose. I mean, I wish I could 3D model. I could probably cut and like do a few very basic things, but asking me to actually make something from nothing is a different thing entirely. I do not believe I have the skill for that. Is it? Wasn't it? What? Fucking arms have almost as much black on them as fucking bear. I should have done this with a 2-inch brush. Definitely should have done it with a bigger brush. That's a bit too big. Now I've got more paint to pull around. Longer bristle brush. More pigment on the brush. More paint on the brush. I know it sounds daft, but I'm just figuring out something. See, flowers and bugs, although they are the shit you don't want to pay for, really, because it's greeblies, is kind of the stuff you really should pay for and try and get really cheap, loads of really cheap. And then you just got a big stack of them, should you ever wish to use them. I don't think the ones that I intend to show up on camera in a minute. I don't know. I'm hoping they will show up. Well, I think they're the type of thing that you should be looking for. Is like, all right, okay, so I can get 500 of them for $10. Awesome. I only need 6, but in future projects, because there's 100 of them, 100 of them, 100 of them, 100 of them, and basically 5 variants of 100 of each. Or whatever the little package may be, it's definitely going to be worth it doing it that way if you don't already own a printer. If you already own a printer, then fair enough. Go find the files. They're out there for free somewhere. They're always out there for free somewhere. Even if you think, no, they're not, because I've only ever sold them, they're out there for free somewhere. Somebody bought your model or bought your STL file and give it to somebody else, and that person's give it to somebody else, and it's ended up on the internet free of charge. So yeah, mushrooms, flowers, leaves, definitely plants. Vines might be an interesting one if you could get it to work. There's a lot of black that needs doing on this. This might as well have just been called the Black Stream. That's also pretty much what I've done. Butterflies, but butterflies you'll buy in various sizes. So if you buy butterflies, you would buy a few hundred of that size, a few hundred of that size, a few hundred of that size. Or just a bag of assorted butterflies. See, I've got a lot of, yeah. Right. I'm going to leave that there for the moment because I'm thinking about weaponry when I come to doing that bit. Although a lot of the black has been done on the inside. 1 to 2 millimeter butterflies. Yeah, right. Speaking of that, then this is that we're going to segue for a moment, people. We're segueing for a moment. We're going into basic material. Now I've got rocks, I've got snows, I've got grass, I've got tufts, all thanks to Ali. Thank you very much for those, Ali. Well, as I said, I ordered some little whimsy model creature things for D&D. And I've been sent these as well. Now, these are absolutely tiny, like underwater fungusy plant things. Now, when I say these are absolutely minuscule and tiny, I mean these are absolutely frigging tiny. There are some little fuck's sake. Those are some little tiny mushroomy cap things, and those are these are talking like a millimeter or two. Put them there next to. I've also got like clamshells with, well, in this case, oyster shells with pearls and stuff on in that one. Some little, I think one or two of you may have seen these if you've been in the Discord. And I'm trying to be extra careful because they're just so fragile because they are 3D printed, they are resin, well, they are plastic, but there's some like nice little corals and little plant growths. But in the other set, because I've got two sets, now these were completely by accident, so I didn't know I was getting them. So Dragon Tree miniatures in this case. I also got, see, some have already snapped off there, which is a shame, but very tiny shells, if I can, you can't even get that to focus. But things like starfish, little tiny starfish. Some extremely small snakes. There's also some frogs and some turtles. But there's two different types of turtles. There's nice little like flat shell type ones. But there's also some, oh no, there's the other snakes, the cobra type snakes. But yeah, there's also turtles with spiky shells. Chat. There. So yeah, for some reason I've got loads of these. I never actually got a definitive answer of why I've got them. Not a proper one. I'm hoping my order does turn up. But I've got some very nice little greeblies now. But you can buy them online, which I'm now aware of. Etsy is probably the best place to go. There's loads of places. When I went looking for them, there was loads of others doing things like butterflies and other plants and flowers and leaves. And do you want it for a diorama? You can usually find it on Etsy. So fingers crossed they're going to become very useful in projects in the future. Although I have very little underwater to do at the moment. Possibly a little bit to do in the future. I'll have to have a full look-see once they arrive to see how I'm going to plan it. Which is it is going to take some planning as well, my project for next year. The one that is going to replace what was the Cats and Catacombs streams, which at the moment I have not replaced with anything. Well, yeah, this is what I'm going to be replacing those with. Combat Patrol will still continue as long as I can get the magazine. That is, if I can't get the magazine anymore, then I'm afraid I'm going to have to stop the combat patrol issues. Sorry for those of you who enjoyed them. There was a list up on the Discord of essentially what you're going to get, when you're going to get it. Everything apart from actually what colour paints are going to be in which issues is the only thing it doesn't list. It tells you what issues are paint issues. It just doesn't tell you the actual paints that are in that issue. Which I'm not going to grumble at. Usually it'll be a paint relevant to the forces that you're actually getting, or to the stage it wants you to get up to. So if it's telling you you're going to get beyond the standard tabletop standard by the end of the magazine, it'll give you enough paint to get up there. It'll just take fucking ages. I could actually stay, but I didn't think it wasn't necessary this time, so just went for this one. How you doing, mate? Are you back in, or is you just heading out? Yes, it is. Did you not see it compared to what it's supposed to be? The bears on more than steroids, mate. The bears on gene seed. Let's have a look now. We've done a fair bit of the black on him, see if it helps with the yellow. So yeah, this is my Brutalis Dreadnought, mate. You know the Dreadnoughts that are that big? Well, this is my Brutalis Dreadnought. And yeah, he's a big angry fucker. So looking at it, yes, the black is going to make a big difference. I'm just going to have to really, really go in on his fur individually and deepen up some of the bits where I've missed, like down here. And on some of these where I've missed the actual tips where I should have been getting, like I got up here. I'm going to have to make sure I go back down and recreate it all through all of Yogi's ass and everything. That is a very, very, very nutty one coming out right there. Oh, it's a lot of painstaking black work to do. I'm already doing a lot of black work tonight. I don't want to be doing more, just painting black for months. I thought I got through all that in the first 2 years of doing this channel. Oh, well, never mind. I have a cup of tea. I have a cold cup of tea. Yeah. Yeah, it works. It's wet. It'll do. Clarion thing number 2. Let's do this one black. I want to try clicking something, see if that actually tells me anywhere on there where it might tell me viewers, listeners, anything. No. Okay. Back to OBS it is, just to make sure. Right. right claw. So I've done the shoulder pad, all the back of that, and then the inside. Okay. So I've done the inside. I'm on the outside. I'm looking in. Don't ask me. See, I'm painting the inside and outside by stain comes into my head. What the fuck? Of all songs to come into my head, it had to be that one. And not a particularly good one. I have 9 on YouTube at the moment. Wow. Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. And thank you for Francois for letting me know how many viewers I've actually got. I think that's quite possibly one of the highest ones I've achieved so far. So thank you all for joining me. And sorry for singing when now you're all going to run away. This is a big old... Right. See, even with this one, and as detailed as this is, it's not GW level of detail. But even so, I'm finding bits, even now, just at this stage, that I didn't even know that bit was there. But, right, so I'm going to have to come back later and catch, right, okay. And even with this, I'm having to still learn, shall we say. I think after the amount of years that I've been doing this now, on and off, that I would at least know to look for things. And learn to trace lines, where they're going and things like that. Painting more than once or twice a week would help. But that would mean setting up a lot more streams and kicking everybody out of the living room more often, which is not going to happen at this time at this moment in time, because I have children off school. And they're going to have toys and noisy things or computery stuff or people round, or it's Christmas. It's not going to be quiet when you want it to be. So a Wednesday stream, as it said on a little note from the last magazine, we won't be getting Combat Patrol until the 1st of January. But I happen to have got one of the models early, purely by chance. Purely by chance. Now, we know with issue 20 we're going to be getting the chaplain on a bike. I also entered a Secret Santa on another YouTuber's Discord, and my Secret Santa just happened to purchase me a chaplain on a bike. So I already have one now. It's not going to stop me buying another one, but I now have one. Now, for the chaplain on a bike, you will need glue. It is not a push fit model. So here's your warning way before issue 20. If anyone's looking to get that one and go, awesome, a push fit chaplain, sorry to disappoint you. This chaplain is not push fit and you will need glue. And I don't believe Hachette are going to supply it you. Not through the magazine, not through just the magazine anyway. You'll have to go through the premium subscription or something for them to be able to post it out to you separately and not go through a news agents. Do I have Infernus? But I think I've got at least 10. Yeah, I've got 10 Infernus Marines. Because I've only got one half of Leviathan from the Space Marine side. And I think you only got 5 Infernus Marines in that. You got 5 Infernus Marines, 5 Terminators, 5 Stern Guard, and a crap load of characters. And a Dreadnought. And you got 5 Infernus Marines with the magazine as well. So yes, I have 10 now. Unless you get 10 in. If you got 10 in Leviathan, I've got 15. If you've got 5 in Leviathan, I've got 10. Did they give it you in the magazine, or did they give you glue as part of sending it as a subscription? Because there is a difference as to how they can sell the glue because of what it is. They can't. I don't think they can actually sell it in the cellophane wrapped what they put on shelves in the standard newsagents. If you've subscribed and signed up to it, even the standard one, then they can give it to you as a free gift as when they send it to you with a bunch of magazines. Because they did that with Conquest. I don't remember seeing a glue issue of Imperium or Stormbringer. And I don't see any glue issues of this. Oh, just have to paint it in front. That means you've got to find them. And I put them away because I wasn't intending to use them ever. So why did I have to find one? I'm paying up to a channel. I competition channels entry possibilities. That's a lot of work. I know I got away with a lot of cheat techniques on the night, but that is using a lot of cheat techniques because it had small areas that I could do it with. But on an Infernus Marine, it's panels. And unless I choose like the Metal Bomb Sergeant or something like that, which I'm guessing a lot of people are going to choose that Infernus Sergeant from issue 5. Which does mean that I've got one Infernus Marine left over when he put a unit together, but that's neither here nor there. It's 5 p.m, so we've got another 6 hours, so that'll be 5 a.m. for me. No, I don't think I'll be catching that one. Sorry, dude. Sorry. Yeah, I won't be catching. I won't be catching him at 5 a.m. on Christmas Eve. When it is now 11:15, no, 11:15 for me. Which means really I should be going to bed soon. I'm not going to I at least get one of the 3 colours that I intended to do tonight done. I just didn't expect there to be so much black work to be done. And I've realised it's going to be the same with silver as well. It would be a good idea for me to pick up another lead belcher or bolt gun of some manufacturers. Just that basic steel tone. what's he called? Micho. Well, timing for YouTubers is a very big thing. See, I'm taking myself slightly out of this equation because I don't count myself as a YouTuber. So when I'm doing this, I don't really count me in this. However, I have had this conversation and thoughts with other YouTubers. He says not counting himself as yeah, you get what I mean. I hope you do anyway. So yeah, time zones and targeting audiences. Now, somebody's probably just pulled the face because I've used the word targeted audience. Which, I'm sorry, I do have a target audience. There is no point in me sticking hashtag Barbie onto all my videos. Because I do absolutely nothing all to do with Barbie. There is a point in me putting hashtag Warhammer 40,000, miniature painting, and when I'm doing it, terrain or scenery. So I have a target audience. I'm aware of what it is because I'm in it. It's mostly blokes with too much money or too much time or both. In my case, it's the time thing that I've got. I don't have the money. It's just I've had time in the past and I've collected in the past. So I'm one of the few people who didn't jump on it during COVID. I was already there. It makes me sound even more of a geek, I know. But I don't care. I was there before it was cool, man. You just don't know. You just don't know. Yeah, I probably could, but I don't think my youngest is gonna let me get away with that. Not with tomorrow being Home Alone Day. So tomorrow I will be watching every single Home Alone movie that is on Disney Plus. Wish me luck. Because there's about fucking 6 of them. And as far as I'm aware, only the first 2 are John Hughes films. Now, I've seen 3 and 4, and possibly the 5th one, because I might have saw that last year. So I know they're not as good. But because it is Christmas and we do things for family, I will tolerate those films for my family and watch them for Home Alone Day. So I will not be able to stay up till 12 and then go sleep and then sleep 8 hours and then try and get up and do a Christmas day before everybody else and need a nap, which I'm probably going to need anyway, in fairness. I'm probably going to have to go for a nap on Christmas Day. I usually do. I've got to that age now. After Christmas dinner, all I want to do is go for a lie down and go for a sleep. It's not torturous, it's fun, and it's the things that you have to do when you're a parent and a grown up. Especially if you want some kind of relationship with your children at some point. Do it more than just once a year at Christmas. But take the time with your family. Who do 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 who do 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 who do 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 do. Right. I think that's all black done. Or at least first layers. No, I want a little square on his friggin' head to do. Sorry, I'm blocking everything out. Well, a lot of people take time off due to Christmas, Francois, so if I was reminded today that it's Monday, and seeing as it's not a Christmas Eve or a Christmas Day or a Boxing Day or anything, I thought I would stream as normal. Wednesday, obviously, I'm not going to be streaming because there is no issue of Combat Patrol out, and it is Christmas Day. Or if I do, it'll be much later on at night once everybody's took it out and in bed and calmed down and all sleepy. If that happens, then I might stream later on at night, but no Wednesday stream is planned at the moment. Okie dokie. So that's how these black bits done that was intended. Initially, anyway, the ones that I wanted them bits to be done. While I just make sure he's dry. So yeah, I got sent this chappy. Or Chappie Lynn. As a Secret Santa gift. You have a good night, Lee. Obviously, don't work too hard. Don't get stressed out too much about your layout either. Well, some of them got to have time off, and especially if you've got family. So, but yeah, going back to this, I did get sent essentially what would be issue 20 early. So even he's quite a chunky little fellow compared to some of the other things that we've been sent. So Terminator with Captain Terminator there next to him. Still quite a big guy. So issue 20 will be getting him. So I'll make 2 of him that I've got. That means I can stick each one with a unit of 3 Outriders and steam them and smack you in the face with chainsaws. Obviously, whoever I'm playing that is, I'm not necessarily playing one of you. I'm not saying I'm adverse to it. It's just I'm thinking logistics might be a bit difficult. Although there are people around near me, potentially I could play Valrak or some of the other Manchester players, but Manchester's quite a large area. So there you go. Lee has some streams over Christmas. He does do trains though, not 40k, so do with what you will. I'm gutted I missed planes, trains, and automobiles though the other day. My friend told me it was on. I'm like, no, I love that bastard. Right, I'm gonna have to paint them little coggy bits in. Good evening, Joey. You just finished your stream? I've just found the tooth. That's good. Well, it's both good and bad because I don't actually have any super glue at the moment. How did your stream go, dude? I'm sorry I didn't catch it. I was busy with a couple of things. I was even late starting this one. Because you have just come off an interview, I believe. If I remember rightly, I might not. Oh, fucking glue won't open. Oh. Nice. It's always nice to see when you actually get a good interview in. I mean, you do the best you do every time is what you kind of do with what you can work with, though. The guest has to do some work. There you go. Is that got it? This is not how I advise people to open super glue, by the way, because it reacts very nicely to human saliva. So do not open it that way because you've got a good chance to. Yeah, I know, man. I know it was on much earlier. I saw the notification for it. I'm like, this is a bit early. What's going on? And I was slightly worried about whether or not I could make it, which sadly I couldn't. So I was a little bit gutted about that. Because I put a notification on everything. Oh, no, that is not the place you want to drop something with super glue on it. I really won't be doing this with tweezers. Right, I'm going to leave his tooth on there. Oh, cool. So he's a natural to doing essentially what is your setup. And you get to go see him in 2 months as well. Sweet. I was saying that I had the chance to go see the Lancashire Hot Pots, which are a almost spoof comedy band over here. And that would have been nice until I found out the tickets were fucking 22 quid each. It's like, I paid that to go see Therapy, for Christ's sakes. I'm not paying that to go see Lancashire Hot Pots at my local town centre. Which I know is going to be awful acoustics. Absolutely terrible acoustics. All right, which bit do I need to do next? Or do I need to... Oh, I know I'm not on the 2-hour time limit, Mark. I'm just not sure on how to proceed from here. As the black has doing all that black work, except for clean-up work, which I've just realised I've got to do some fucking more of. Now that I've just done all that black work, I am reluctant to do any blue because I want to come back now and clean up that fur. Because now I can see a lot more of the gaps and the places that I missed and the areas where it's so much brighter. I mean, it looked bright anyway when it was just white, but I don't have too much white on the actual bear now. I mean, there are some bits. Shit. There's always a bit you miss, isn't there? So let's carry on for a moment. And as I was saying, now I can see that I'm going to have to come back in and lay each section of fur on its own to get the effect that I want, which may mean I may need to mask sections off, repaint them, and come back in and do it again. Try different methods because dry brushing doesn't seem to have worked at this moment. Not for that effect that I wanted on him anyway. But it should be salvageable. Just make sure I get all his bloody armour done. Especially the bit that's going to end up going underneath. Well, it's going to be the power pack. But if you were to buy one from Rogue's Den Hobbies, then yours would obviously be a smaller scale, so you would get one with a human controlling it as a pilot. I just had to cover that up because the human is ridiculously scaled compared to even the Space Marines in this. Because I can't scale, and Graham just printed what I asked for. Obviously, if you also want a custom job like this, you would not pay the standard store price, as I did not. But as he is also a 3D printing business as well as selling 3D printed models, yeah, you can put in custom orders, which is top. That's how you end up with a bear that looks like he's just eaten the entire population of the planet. Or what happens if the Borg catch a bear? Last two panels around this side. So I've got a lot of silver that's got to be done on him. Which again, I'm going to leave off until I've finished his fur. Although I might still just do it black now. Decisions. See, if I paint it all black now, any mistakes later may be hidden by the black paint. And by protruding arms and wires and other parts of the model that'll get glued on over it. So there is that possible. Yeah, that'll do, Twisted. It's a Brutalis Brem Miniki at A8, a Brutalis Dreadnought. Assimilated its user and is now going on a big stumpy rampage in the name of the Emperor. Which he has no idea what the hell an Emperor is. He just knows that he's going around killing in the name of. He's more than happy though, he gets fed. Brutalis Diabear. Oh yeah, little nubbly bits. It helps when you have a memory, doesn't it? It does. It definitely helps to have a memory. And the only reason I've not forgotten the person's name who bought me that Secret Santa is because I wrote it on the box before I put the model together. Got the screen name for the person anyway. I don't know if it's their actual name, but it's their screen name. So I've wrote it on so I don't forget. Because I'm forgetful like that. In fact, about 10 minutes after getting it, I had to go back and message the organizer and just double check it was that person who actually sent it to me. He's definitely taking some work as this big boy. The one good thing, not a single piece of wax stuck paper in sight. No purity seals. I suppose really I should go looking through my bits box to find purity seals because it is not really a Space Marine Army part if he's not got purity seals on it. But I really dislike purity seals. I don't like them. They're just useless wastes of plastic, and it's the first incarnation of the let's do something to make it stand out like a tactical rock. And he got that out of hand that everything ended up with a fucking purity seal. So that's why the tactical rock was invented. Because purity seals couldn't be used anymore. And for people wondering what a tactical rock is, it's the rock that the sergeant or the leader is stood on to make sure that you know he's the one that's in charge. And he's more important than all the others who've got to stand on the flat floor. He's got a rock so he can put his leg on it, do the full on fucking power pose. I'm painting under here just so it's shadow later. I don't want, because I've got a chance to while his arms aren't in here. At least one layer, so I don't have to come back later and worry about it. I can just get it done there. Have it finished. Well, have that section completed, and then it's finished done. Right. Do I paint all the silver bits black first? I don't think I do. Because I want some of them, hopefully, like these sections, I want some of it to stay through. So it's almost doing the source lighting for me. I'm going to be lazy and see if I can get it to do that. Basically, see if I can turn my overbrush into something a happy accident. Now, looking at him, obviously this bit's going to have to be blue. And for this sections, I will probably do the inside bit here. So that little curved section there and that little section there on both of those will also be blue. His necklace, the big chain thing holding these on that are all bolted in, is going to be silver next time. This is going to be silver next time, along with this running through. All the metallics that are connected up through his feet. And the backs of his claws here, I'm not sure about. I'm going to go with silver to start with. Same with this section around here. Inside there is going to be done differently. So that might get done with the yellows and try to make it like a molten, because he's going to be the melter guns. So they're going to be black. Ah, shit. No, they're going to be silver and brass for the melters. So that should be easy enough. And then I've just got to think of something nice to do with the claws, which I'll probably do similar to what I did with the Librarian's Force Axe. I'll probably go for the burgundies and the pinks and have it over more power weapon than heat weapon in this case. The heat's coming more from the bear than the weapons. So that's a lot of black I've had to do tonight. Sorry it's been a single colour night. It was expected to be a 3-colour night, but sadly it's not. It's been a 2-colour night. Well, 1-colour night. But I've got to show off another model as well, which is always fun. As I said, I'm not sure what's going to happen on Wednesday. If I do get to stream, I'll probably make it Combat Patrol relevant, possibly catch up on Tyranids that I've not painted. Because I've got, Lord knows, I've got plenty of those. I've got most of the Tyranid collection I've just not painted at all. And even some of the other ones that I've had, like the Wing Primes, are only in a partially painted state. So I've still got a lot of green to do on them. I think I've got all the green to do on them, in fact. Purples, do some more yellows, and then dry brushing on top. So I've still got a lot of work to do. So I could easily more than enough work to do on Wednesday for a Combat Patrol stream if I do go live on Christmas Day. If not, my next stream will definitely be Monday next week, because we're back for Models, Musings, and continuing with the big beast of a bear. I will try and see if I can get a year-end, year summary type of stream, just so we can let you know what's coming for next year and look back on what I've done this year as well. It's all been a big blur, to be quite honest. It's gone by so quick. It's Christmas in 2 days, people. It's Christmas 2 days, not even 2 days. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. In 15 minutes, it is Christmas Eve. For me, anyway. You may have hours. It may already be Christmas Eve for you. Merry Christmas. But I shall love you all. Thank you all for coming. Please drive safe if you're driving or listening to me. Don't doing things like watching me while you're driving. That's a bad idea. Drive safe. Don't drink and drive. Look after yourselves over the Christmas period. And Merry Christmas if I don't get to see you beforehand. Thank you.